I'm having this running battle with magpies at the moment because I got a bike for my birthday and I've been cycling around town a lot. And there's a little industrial estate just outside of town that I ride to get to the gym. And it's like a maybe 1-2 kilometer stretch of country road. So I'm already taking my life in my own hands because it's a 2-lane road and you got like fucking semi-trailers roaring by and no bike path or anything. I'm literally just on the side of a road trying to get to the gym. But it flies right under this like magpie territory. And I'd forgotten, like, it's been 20 years since I've ridden a bike. Like, I'm really having, they say you never forget how to ride a bike. Not true.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the first couple of times I rode it, I was like, oh, my balls are killing me. This is so hard.
People
I'm not comfortable at all.
Honestly said to me, like, when I had a couple of years off stand-up and I was talking about that I was nervous about going back to stand-up, they're like, oh, no, it's like riding a bike. And I was like, mate, last time I rode a bike, I couldn't walk for a week. Like, what are you talking about?
So I don't think I'd ever experienced like magpie attacks back when I rode a bike, but then I got like a real kind of crash course in it because just that there is a 200-meter stretch of like these big pine trees and it's just filled with magpies, and these motherfuckers will come at me, and it's so funny because they don't. I've got my helmet on. They're not actually pecking me or like clawing me or anything like that. But it's like verbal intimidation.
Oh yeah.
Like they fly so close to my ears and they're flapping their wings and they're cawing, and I can hear the little of their beaks.
They're
right next to
bullying
my
you.
ear.
That's what they're doing. They're bullying you.
It's like when a guy like he'll feign to throw a punch and see if you react.
That's 100%.
And I'm reacting.
They're
every
like
time.
a gang of yous. You're walking down the street and a gang of yous have just come up and started going, made you jump.
Oh my God. And the thing is, like I've told you, like my greatest fear is ending up on Brown Cardigan. Like someone shoots some like video of me, like, and because there's cars going by all the time, and I am the dude, the dork on his bike with his bike helmet on, like, because it immediately I turn into this like 85-year-old man. I don't even use like proper swear words, like motherfucker. I'm like, bugger off, get out of here, rack off. I don't know why. Like the insults are all so like generic and nice, but like, get out of here. But I've had these.
Also, it doesn't really matter like what the insults are because they're magpies and they don't speak English. It's not like you're like, I haven't used the right words. Maybe people are yelling bugger at them. You could yell anything. You could yell your name, Charlie.
But you know, if you really want to like, if you really like, it's like again, if you want to intimidate someone, you use fucking big swear words and shit. Fucking fuck, come on, can't fucking, you know, like be like this. Like,
we do that though because when we're insulting people, we understand that they understand those words and the meaning of those words, right? Like, that's why.
Yeah, no, but my point being, like, to puff myself up and be as aggressive and scary to this animal as possible, I should be using words that, like, if someone comes at me and says, hey, fella, hey, pal, hey, buddy, like, you know, or they come and say, you fucking cunt, you know, like, I'm going to react more.
Again,
to the
because
other one.
You speak English.
The psychosomatic connection between the harder swear word makes me bigger and more aggressive.
No, Charlie, it's the words.
If trust me, like if you want to fire yourself up for something, if you walk around going bugger this and schweppes that and stuff, or fuck shit, fuck, like you're getting more aggression out, and it's physically having a reaction in your body.
Well, maybe it's having a reaction in your body, but it's not intimidating the magpies anymore.
It is so. There is a difference. If I was like, maybe it's only a 5 to 10% difference.
You think that's the difference? Wouldn't it be 100%. Better to try to swear in like a magpie's language? Shouldn't it be a bit more like...
Well, yeah, that I will definitely end up on Brown Cardigan then with some caption, WTF, like triple a laughing emoji. It's just some middle-aged guys like screaming in magpie language on his bike. No, but Will, what I am getting is these like violent revenge fantasies. And because sometimes like I've gotten better at sort of like judging when they come in. So now like I use the shadow when the sun's out, I can see the shadow of the magpie and I can like almost judge when they're about, because they hold the wings up obviously to coast above me and then they'll drop the wings when they're about to dive in. So I have like, I know that, okay, he's diving in now. So I've been trying to sort of turn and swing my arm to see if I can just like, I just want to punch it. Just want to
punch one magpie. Is that too much to ask?
No, you're a vegetarian,
Yeah,
and
sure.
you don't believe in like attacking animals and stuff.
Mm.
If you saw me, like if you were driving
Yeah.
past, and it doesn't have to be me, you saw a guy on a bike. If you saw him turn and execute like a perfect left-hand cross and just crack a magpie in the skull, and the magpie drop to the ground, potentially dead, maybe concussed, what would you think? Would you think that guy was out of line? Like, have I crossed the line by punching a magpie in the head in self-defense?
Yeah,
It's not like I went up to the magpie's
so
nest.
that's important. Self-defense. Like if there was just a magpie minding its own business, like, perched on, say, like a railing near your house, and then you intentionally wandered over towards it and punched it in the beak, then I would find that different to you being on your bike and a magpie being near your head and no, that's fine. That's self-defense. Okay. No court in the land would convict you.
Okay, let's extend the hypothetical there. So I punch it in the head, you see it drop to the ground. Yeah. And then I stop, and I've had a moment of kind of like crisis. I'm like, and then you stop your car, and then we hear cheep, 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 and we look up and we see 3 baby magpies in a nest. It was just a mum defending her babies, and I punched it in the head and killed it.
Good points.
What do we do? What do we do then?
Oh, man.
Bad luck, birds. Your mum shouldn't have been such a prick.
Oh, man, it is tough. I guess you then have to raise those magpies as your own.
No,
you're their you're their mother now. So
no. I refuse.
And you'll learn an important life lesson through the process. This is essentially like you've always been a racist, and then you're in some attack, and then you have to raise like 3 kids not of your own race, and you learn some important lessons about loving each other. Yeah. So I think it's the same. That's
an Oscar-winning film,
exactly.
Right?
A man in it, we
white
make
savior.
We make
a white savior film. That's what the world needs. Another white savior movie.
Yeah, it is really very much the what was that Sandra Bullock film about the blind side? This is The Blind Side, but with magpies.
That's what we call it, The Blind Side in brackets,
with magpies.
Now, what about this? Well, what if? Okay, so in self-defense, you're okay with that. What if I ride that particular route where I know I get attacked, but I ride with the intention, hoping that a magpie will try and attack me, but with an intent to retaliate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is getting darker.
So, maybe I'm carrying a weapon of some kind, a golf club, or something like that. So,
I mean, for me, if you were going to carry a weapon, I'd suggest perhaps like a tennis racket rather than a golf club would be just more chance of connecting. Like, how do you imagine you're going to wield a golf club while on a fucking bike and a magpie?
Well, I just thought it was longer than a tennis racket.
Yeah, but all you can do is poke it. And which club are you intending on using?
No, my one wood, of course. Hitting magpies is my one wood.
Surely you'd have to use your Collingwood to hit magpies. But okay, so yes, good one. That was the appropriate response to that. Yes, acknowledged, good one. Well done. Wordplay.
Good one.
Excellent. Not funny, but good one. Okay. Are you in any other way than usual? So it's happened before. Unintentionally, you haven't just Googled local areas where there's lots of magpies. You've ridden this route before, been attacked by magpies.
I know.
And now vigilante style, you're sort of going out to get your 100%. Revenge. You're hoping that the same thing will happen because it's time for you to get your revenge on the magpies. That's what we're talking about.
It's like death. It's death wish. Yeah. They've taken something from me, and now I've gone off and I've got myself prepared, and I'm ready for a battle. So it's not like a spontaneous, instinctive self-defense action. It's like I'm going out there. I'm not going out to be the aggressor, but I'm hoping that they attack me so I can then respond by swinging my tennis racket / golf club.
Well, if they attack still first, unprovoked, then it's still self-defense. It's like in America where people that have guns in their house, you can shoot somebody if they've broken into your property and you feel threatened. I mean, that's horrible, but in all regards, but I think that but here's what I was going to say. Have you done anything to provoke them? Have you?
I've ridden through their territory.
Yeah, but I think you're allowed to do that. Have you, are you luring them in some way?
Oh, what, like shiny things like
Yeah,
magpie?
like yes,
yeah,
exactly.
like,
Have you like?
I've stuck shiny things all over my helmet.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
So your
I
usual, you
will
haven't
just
gone out of your
recreate
way
my
to, yeah.
no,
Okay.
just riding my bike to the industrial estate on the country road.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, they do, yeah.
And now, do you have in this scenario your golf club already in your hand? Like, so are you going
Yeah.
through with golf club in hand?
Yeah, yeah, at the ready.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know if you can have
Like
yeah.
a jousting knight. I have
Yeah.
it resting on my handlebars, ready to swing in an instant.
Uh,
So listen, think about like when someone gets attacked by a shark, or like even a dog or whatever. Like, you know, generally that animal is then considered a danger, and they'll go out and they'll hunt it down. How do you feel about that? Like when there's been a shark attack and they're like, oh, it was a great white in this area, we need to, you know, eliminate that great white. And people will be like, but it's the shark's territory. We were out in the shark's territory. Do you think there'd be magpie advocates who are like, well, hang on, he's riding through the magpies. She's just had kids.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. He's riding through her territory. We shouldn't go out and kill that magpie.
Well, I mean, I don't think that we do think that, do we?
Like it's not like the magpie's threatening my life.
Yeah, but also
it's pecking my helmet.
As a society, like, I think it would be a step too far if, like, every time there was a magpie attack, there were calls to hunt down that specific magpie and kill it. Like, I think that is a step too far.
What level of damage would it have to do to me before you think we could put a call out?
We've got
to take.
We've got to kill that specific magpie.
Like if someone gets their leg bitten off by a shark, they'll go get that shark.
Yeah.
So does it have to be that severe? I have to lose a limb, or like permanent brain damage, or something that affects my livelihood?
No, but you'd have to think that there was a danger of it happening again, right? So did this magpie do something that it is like, or was this just a chance accident? It's accidentally got your eye. You've overbalanced because like your golf club that you had as a jousting stick has gone into the spokes of
like
your
that
bike. And you've like flipped off the front of your bike and there's a golf club in the back and like you've come down like on your head and like, yeah, basically like permanently and also ended up absolutely on brown cardigan. Absolutely in that scenario.
The real danger would be that I get pushed into traffic, like, because that can happen.
Yeah.
Like there's a narrow side of the road that I am trying to navigate, and just say this magpie is relentless. It gets this did happen one day actually, where so I was approaching the area where the magpie attacks normally happen, and like some days I'll get through scot-free. There's no attack, and I'm like, okay, right, awesome. And so I was halfway through the danger zone. Kenny Loggins ringing in my ears. That's his lesser known single.
It was the actual
halfway through the danger.
It was
halfway through the danger zone, looking for a magpie in the danger zone. So I was halfway through the danger zone, and I hadn't heard, because normally it's like a horror movie.
I mean, that is actually more impressive, isn't it? Because like the highway to the danger zone. It's fine. Everyone can drive the highway to the danger zone. I'm happy to drive you right up to the danger zone, mate. I'll drop you off at the edge of the danger zone. But halfway through the danger zone, no, thank you.
Just text me when you're done. I'll come pick you outside the danger zone.
I'll meet you at the danger zone again. I'm here. You can go into the danger zone. I'll be right here.
Hey, Will, you here? I'm outside the danger zone. Where are you? Yeah, I'll come pick you up from the side entrance to the danger zone.
I'm right on the edge of the danger zone. You can't miss me. Just get out of the danger zone. I'll be right there.
So I was halfway through the danger zone, and normally, like, it's kind of like it's a creepy precursor to an attack. Like you'll be riding, and you'll just hear this and then there's normally a and then the snapping of beaks or the claws or whatever like that. So you always get like a split second of notice. But I'd been riding and I hadn't heard anything. I was like, oh, maybe they've taken the day off. Maybe she's feeding her kids or whatever. And then I look ahead, and I just see, coming flying directly towards me like it's playing chicken, this magpie, like wings fully extended, just head down, beak pointed square at my face, and she's coming for me. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, how am I going to take evasive action here? So I think what I did in that instance was I actually just like covered my eyes like this, hoping that, you know, and she sort of like veered over the top. But in that instance, if a truck had been coming on that side, if I'd like lost my balance or like wobbled on the handlebars, I could have gone out to traffic. Yeah. So let's say that happens. I get hit by a car, don't die, but I'm in traction for 6 months. Like, and then I call you up and say, Will, you know, I've had a lot of time in this
Yeah.
in this hospital bed, and my thoughts have been consumed with nothing but revenge.
I've got
I want to take this magpie down. Like, look what it took from me.
Yeah.
I'm a monster.
Has it since then done anything like that to anybody else? Or is it just this one isolated incident that's happened to you?
I understand. So you're saying like it has to be a more
A pattern.
more
It
sympathetic
needs-
victim.
No, I just want to know if there's a pattern. Like, you know, everybody can make a mistake. And I think one of the tenets of our society is forgiving people like a one-off mistake or an accident and all those sort of things. Like the magpie might not know what it does, right? But if there's a pattern, if this is like behavior that this magpie is engaging in regularly, it's a different scenario, right?
Well, what if we find out that every 27 years this magpie feeds
Oh,
for
yeah,
27
okay.
days?
All right, okay, great. I'm in.
And it pecks the eyes out of 27 people or whatever that Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah,
monster does.
okay. All right. So there's like a ancient magpie.
Mythology.
A magpie that has lived for centuries and only attacks for okay. Yeah, and then in that case, we've got to kill this fucking magpie, right?
Yeah. I'm now.
Now.
The Jeepers Creepers
Yeah.
mythology. Let's.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So it's an ancient, mysterious, it says demon, but
Yeah.
we replace the word magpie. An ancient, mysterious magpie who seeks organs from humans to replace its own old, damaged ones. It hunts for 23 days every 23rd spring, scaring its victims and using the scent of fear to determine what it needs to feed on. Okay, so that's the magpie we're dealing with.
Okay.
You've only got 22 days from my attack. I get attacked day one.
Yeah. All right. You get attacked day one. Let's just say you're in hospital for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Gives us like, you know, basically a week and change to get this job done. Like you've had 2 weeks in hospital. You've like been stewing on it. You get out of hospital. You're like, I've been doing a lot of reading. And it turns out this magpie, I believe, is not just a regular magpie, Will. I believe it's an ancient magpie that feeds every 23 years for 23 days, and we need to destroy it. And I'd be like, well, that does seem to make a lot of sense, Charlie, so let's get to it.
Worst comes to worst, we get a good content for Brown Cardigan.
First call, Brown Cardigan. The guys at Brown Cardigan headquarters, I'd be like, just send out every tradie. Honestly, guys, like anything else that's going on today, whether it be like...
I know you're filming some guy high on coke, some dude doing lines in his car, thinks he can't be seen.
Right.
We've got to
get all your best content creators and capturers on the scene today because we are taking down an ancient deadly magpie. I got to be honest with you. If you are capable at this point of getting back on the bike, then we've got to use you as bait. The best plan is you are. This is bait bike. This is what we've got here, right? So we've got to lure this magpie back down again. Now, I don't think that you should then be the person who. I mean, I know, but you want to have revenge on this, don't you? You want to be the person who kills the magpie, right?
Yeah, I want to deal the killing blow.
Now, well, how would you feel about us capturing the magpie and then you killing it? Like, or do you need to kill it in action, in the action of its...
Or in a kind of... Or do we just like spin the whole thing where we create a scenario like that? We capture and knock the magpie out and it wakes up.
Doesn't know where it is.
Doesn't know where it is. We've hired this warehouse and the magpie looks down and it's strapped to a tiny bike. And we've hooked this bike up to a track.
Love it.
And the bike starts moving. The magpie's, what's going on? And as it's on the bike, it hears me go, ah, ah! And I just run out and I start like swiping at the magpie's head. And we repeat this torture for 23 days. So the magpie learns a lesson. This is what you've been putting me. This is what you've been putting us through.
Reprogramming.
We reprogram it by giving it a dose of its own medicine. You think you're just like replenishing your organs every 23 years for 23 days. Or what you're doing is traumatizing a whole township.
Hey, Jem, we need to take some money out of the account because we just need to hire a warehouse in the industrial estate for a month.
With a tiny little bike.
I need someone to make a tiny little
We're going to have to rebuild a forest.
So here's what I would suggest in that situation, though. For the full effect, you've got to be on trapeze. So we've got to go so here was the plan. It's near the industrial estate, right? So we go down to the industrial estate. We find one of the empty, we get an empty, because they've got, obviously it's an industrial estate. There's some big warehouse spaces in there. So yes, the Magpie's little and we need the tiny little bike, but what we need is room for you to swoop, because we need to get
on cables.
And this is capable, because we are in an area where there's circus schools all over the place, experts in this area.
Trapeze.
Oh, so easy, right? So trapeze, I would say. So we go down, we ring up trapeze, and say, hey, we need to get some trapeze people down. Maybe we even hire some young people, right? Okay, this is good. You can make it
circus school.
Yeah, you can make it a family activity. You get the local circus school down and you get we've got this tiny little Magpie on a bike. All we need you to do is just...
To see the full video, join our Patreon.
Patreon.com/TOFOP.